Hi Aquarius, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aqua, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that's just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you got the Chariot card, right? So you're already in good space. You're already in good stead, as they say. Now, what this suggests to me is as things start to really move, as the energy starts to pick up, as everything starts to work, in that forward motion, you are catching a wave this week, right? You're catching a wave of energy. You're catching a wave of momentum. You're catching a wave of forward progression. And I absolutely love this for you. What I will also say to you is this week, it's very likely that you are coming out on top of something. And I got to be honest with you, I kind of feel like I almost feel like something's going to present this week that could be a little bit of a challenge. And it's almost like you sidestep it without it really even becoming a thing. And then you might look back and go, yeah, okay, that could have been a little bit, it could have been a little bit more intense than it actually was, but it's worked out in your favor. And then finally, for a lot of you, I kind of feel like this may be, I can't remember who else got this card. But this is you meeting a deadline of some sort, something that you have planned, something that you've been quite meticulous about, but you've moved relentlessly towards. Like this week, you get the cosmic green light or the go ahead. If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share. And if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. For your actions and options, you've got the 9 of Pentacles. This coupled with the Chariot card, you working hard this week, right? You've been working hard, but this week it looks like you're really maybe you're putting the finishing touches on something. Maybe you're moving into that state of preparation, which I absolutely love for you. It also feels as well, that 9 of Pentacles, this is about you starting to realize where maybe some of your own sharp edges are. And with that Chariot card, it's like you can hear from a friend, actually you need to tone it down here. You can take that criticism on board from a loved one or a family member or a client, and it's like it doesn't feel so abrasive. It's just like, okay, cool, where's my sanding buffer? I'm gonna smooth that edge off of myself, right? Which is great. But yeah, lots of hard work this week. It looks like there's nose to the grindstone. And I kind of feel like this is because you're meeting a deadline. You're working towards completion on something. For your communications and conversations, you've got the 9 of Cups. Look at that, right? So 2 9s represents receipt. What I usually say with this as well, when we say receipt, this is like being in receipt of, or being on the receiving end of, right? Being on the receiving end of the 9 of Cups. We could do a lot worse. You've got this underneath the Chariot card. So one way that this might show up for all of us in the area of communications, something that you've hoped for, something that you've wished for, something that you saw but maybe were denied, you now get a second shot at. You now get another chance to maybe make something a viable option, for something to become, something that once was a possibility but then didn't happen, and you thought, I'm gutted, but now it comes back around and you get to move ahead with it, and take it all the way home. When it comes to communications this week, you have good news to deliver, but good news is finding its way to you as well. Why? Because the 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment, right? You add to that the 9 of Pentacles. This is wishes fulfilled for hard work already done, all right? For services rendered, as they say. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, that job that you wanted to go for, that application that you put in, that decision to move ahead with something, that request that you put into your boss or that you put in this week has all the chances of success. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, people that work for themselves, entrepreneurs, this is gorgeous, right? Because the Nine of Cups has an element of healing to it, and the Chariot card has an element of success. And this is kind of like where maybe you've taken some kind of remedial action in your business, where maybe you've tried to right a ship, maybe you have tried to rebrand yourself, maybe you've tried to do something, and it's like maybe you've tried everything that you can think of, and this week you finally see some results. You finally see things start to shape up in the way that you wanted to see them. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, the work that you've done on the inner planes, the work that you've done on yourself, on your mind, your belief structures, your psyche, on your soul even, that deep inner work that you have dedicated yourself to finding or mending rifts in some way so that you can be nicer, kinder, broader, bolder, whatever it might be, that work starts to pay off. It starts to give or yield dividends now. When it comes to your love and relations, you've got the Emperor card, right? So for some of you, I always say when the Emperor shows up in love, there's a few things that we could say. One, you could be interacting with a person in a position of authority or in a position of power. Maybe somebody that is in a position of power, maybe somebody that's in a position to help you, takes a real shining to you. Maybe they look at you and they're just kind of like, I really like you. I don't know if it's in that way, but I definitely like you and I want to help you. And, this could be great. Be careful if you're partnered or in long-term commitments, because some lines could get blurred here. The energy's really good. It's fun. It's vibrant. It's also, it could be a little bit nebulous. And just watch out for that. But for those of you that are single, you could be meeting somebody that's quite powerful, somebody that's quite well known in their field. Maybe even as well, this is somebody that has, like their public persona is quite sort of, and with you, they're just kind of a bit, do you know what I mean? Like you could tame the beast, if you like, this week, which is great. The other thing as well about this card, it does suggest that whoever you're meeting this week, they have marriage potential. It doesn't mean that this is the one, that it's definitely them. It means that they have potential. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, be careful, because there could be another interested party this week. So just make sure that you're letting everybody know. What I will say to you is this. In your partnership, your marriage, and your commitment and your connections, the work that you've done on yourself really starts to pay off in the relationship. And also for some of you, this could literally be you and a partner planning a trip, planning a get together, or get away rather than a get together. But this is really, really nice. It's actually a great energy. The marriage is strong this week, all right? The marriage, the partnership, the relationship, it's strong. For your money and materials, you've got the Six of Wands. Right underneath the Nine of Cups, right underneath the Chariot card. Money's looking good this week, right? There are big results, big rewards here, as long as you are prepared to take some of those big risks. And, I'm not saying bet the house, the car, and the dog on the roulette table. But what I am saying is dare to go big, right? This is that week when if you want to make more money, if you want to, you got to be bold, you got to show up, and you've got to be prepared this week to do what you say you can do on the tin, whether this is in a job, whether it's in a business, whether it's with an idea. This is a great card for money, and it does suggest an elevation in that sector in some way, shape or form. Underneath the Nine of Cups, this is effectively, like I said, it's something that you've already put the work in, but it now comes good. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your back, your heart, and your spine. Look after yourself. When it comes to your, especially because you've got the Chariot card there as the key to the week, right? So if you're working out or anything like that, just take it at a pace. Make sure you do a warm-up. Make sure you do a cool-down, because you could hurt a touch wood, but just look after yourself this week if you're working out, because you could end up hurting yourself because you were careless. Like, I do this all the time. And then you're like, oh my God, my back. When it comes to your home and environment, This actually suggests that you could, because you've got the Chariot, the Nine of Cups and the Six of Wands, this suggests that you are playing mine host this week, as Patrick Arundel always says. But this week you could be inviting people over, or you could be maybe hosting an event, having a dinner, you know, just getting together and having a really, really great time. And it could feel really good after, you know, the whole last 2.5 years that we've all had. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.